Hey guys, what's going on? So I got the name for the channel now. Yu-Gi-Oh! Okay, deck profiles, because as I said, I'm not very great at the game, but I do enjoy playing it, and I think some of my decks are okay. So, first off, thank you to Team Miracle 4 for the first sub of the channel. I appreciate it. I'm glad you like my stuff, or like the video, or whatever. Currently is like 40 views or something, so I thought, screw it. I'll do Yosenjus, because why not? It took me a while to first notice these Yosenjus that they are literally just furries. So I found a beautiful field center and made it myself of Joey Wheeler, Earth, level 1, furry, one of the Brooklyn Warriors. His main weapon is his Brooklyn Rage. His attack and defense are yeah. I love that from the Yu-Gi-Oh! Ridge. It was one of my favorite moments when he's trying to kick down the door. But anyways, you guys aren't here to hear me ramble. You're here to see the deck profile. This time, my Apple product won't be going off because I have headphones plugged into it, so it can't go off. So you won't have to worry about that this time. So let's get that field center out of the way and just get on with it. Now then, there is one card that I don't have in here currently because I only own one copy of it because I got too lazy and didn't buy a second copy, which would be Utopia Double and Double or Nothing. You can play that in this, obviously. It's basically, we'll get on to what they do in a minute. So first off, you play 3 Yosenju comma 1. You play, again, you don't play a whole lot of monsters. You play more than you did in the Sky Striker one just because it's Yosenjus and they like to spam the field, which I love. This is the mostly trap-based one. I don't know if I mentioned that, but it's more of a stall or stun. I don't know what you'd call it. Maybe control? No, because this doesn't have the control cards. Anyways, you play 3 Yosenju comma 1. If you control one of these Yosenju monster, you can target a face-up card your opponent controls and bounce it to the hand. It's really good for dealing with Link monsters, especially, I was going to say Avermax, but you can't target Avermax because it is targets, unfortunately. But yeah, you play 3 Yosenju comma 1. Next up, and this is with the new support, by the way. 3 Yosenju comma 2. It can attack directly. That's pretty much it. Next up, comma 3 of them. If a different Yosenju monster other than comma 3 inflicts damage to your opponent, you get to add a Yosenju card from your deck to your hand, which is really, really good. What you can basically do is attack with comma 2 directly and use the effect and add the next card I'm going to show you. But what comma 1, 2, and 3 do is when they're normal summoned, you can normal summon another Yosenju monster from your hand. Notice that it's normal summon, not special summon. The main purpose of this deck is to not special summon unless it's for game, because you don't want to control monsters. And these all Yosenju monsters basically act as fake spirit monsters, where during the end phase of the turn they were summoned, they bounce to the hand. So 3 Tensukju, I don't know how you say that one. You play 3 of them. It has 2 effects. Just like all the others, it bounces. You can discard from your hand in the damage step of either player's turn. Your Yosenju monster gets 1,000 attack, both effects once per turn. Or if it was summoned and it's on the field, you can target a Yosenju monster on the field and it gains 1,000 attack to the end of the turn, which is really nice. So basically what you can do is you can attack directly with comma 2, use comma 3, add this to your hand, attack with comma 3 or comma 1, and then use the discard effect. The last monster is Isna. This is, I felt like out of all the new support that this is one of the best, just because of the fact that it really, really helps with the fact that it stops your opponent from soloing your summons. Because if they stop that summon, that's it. You kind of just have to end your turn there, apart from setting some back row, because you can't really do much else because you don't special summon. So you can discard it. Your opponent can't activate cards. Activate cards or effects when a Yosenju monster is normal summoned, normal or special summoned, but in this build you don't care about special summoning. Also, if this is good for if you go first, you can summon this actually to the field, and then if you control another Yosenju monster, you get to draw a card. So it's a nice +1 because it does return to your hand. So it does, I think. Again, I don't really know. Next up is 3 card Itemize, just really, really, really good in the deck. Just because you get, it's basically a +2. You could play the Whirlwind, Ritual Whirlwind, whatever they called it. I don't like it because the fact that you have to return 3 face up, minimum 3, and you're using that card, and you want it to be the only card in your hand, and it's just so situational, and I really don't like it. And I think Card Itemize is way better because you get to draw 3, so you just go battle, attack, Main phase 2, card demise, draw 3, set it, unless you have any monsters. End phase, resolve demise, discard, and then end phase, your Yosenju monster's effect activates and they all bounce to your hand. So there's really no downside to playing this card, really. Next up is 3 Fire Formation Tenkis. It's basically your Rhoda for the Yosenjus, searching a Beast Warrior. Also, amazing attack boost, an extra 100 attack points. So if you have 3 of these in the field, all your Yosenjus are getting 300 bonus attack points. Believe it or not, that has made a difference in a game before. It was funny. 100 attack points means almost nothing, but still. Next up is 3 Pot of Dualities. You play Duality just because, like I said, you don't special summon unless you're going for game. So there really isn't much of a downside to playing something like that. That's it for the spells, by the way. I only play 9. I mean, you can play, like I said, there's Double or Nothing you can play. You can also play Necro Valley if you want, just because you don't care. Once your cards hit the graveyard, that's it. They're gone. You don't pick them back up. And that can hurt a lot of other decks. Like Thunder Dragons, I know it hurts. Orcists, it hurts them. It hurts Solomon Greats a little bit because it stops the spinny. Next up for the traps is 3 Drowning Mirror Force because you don't want to control any monsters during your opponent's turn. So this one's perfect because it just sends them back to the deck when they declare a direct attack. Next up is 3 Dark Bribe, mostly for... This was originally a Mystic Mind build, but then I didn't like it. But Dark Bribe does still work because it's just a nice counter, as opposed to having to do just Solemn Judgment, which I know is at 3, but I can't find my Solemn Judgment. I had one and I can't find it. But I think Dark Bribe is just fine, as opposed to giving up half your life points, especially with the new time rule. I think Dark Bribe just does a better job. Next up is in the newer cards, Yosenju's Sword Sting, which is really good. If you control no monsters, which is why you played in this, reveal up to 2 Yosenju monsters with different names in your hand, which most likely your opponent's going to already know that you have them because you'll summon them already, and then target up to that many cards. I think it's up to target the same number of cards your opponent controls that are face up and return them to the hand. You can only activate one Sword Sting per turn. It's really good. It's basically Yosenju, 1, but better because you don't have to control them, which is really nice. And also I just realized that's the Honest for the Yosenjus, and then that's another one of the new ones, but I don't know its name, and also it's really bad. It basically sets the Whirly, whatever it's called, Dizzy, Whirly, whatever. Next up is 2 Torrential Tribute. You can play 3, but I find 2 to be fine. Basically, opponent summons a monster, Torrential, you destroy their cards. You're basically Raigeking them because, again, you're most likely not controlling any monsters. 2 Solemn Strikes, just stop special summons or effects, simple. 2 Heavy Storm Dusters, just for some back row removal. Macros Cosmos, banish every card sent to the graveyard. You can side this, but I prefer to main it because it's just, if you don't use it, you don't use it, whatever. It's a one of. Because again, once your cards hit the grave, that's it. You're not getting them back. And then finish off the main deck is 1 Solemn Warning, negate summons. It's not too complicated. Next up for the extra deck, I don't have a full extra deck just because you don't care too much about your extra deck, but this is just a few suggestions of mine. Underclock Taker, because you do play, if you want to play Utopia Double, then, because you can summon a lot. If you summon 4 monsters, 4 of your Yosenjus, cool, you have game. You use 2 of them to make this, while pointing down to one of your Yosenjus, preferably Yosenju, 1, because that has the high, or 2, because that has the highest attack points. Drop an opponent's monsters' attack points by 1,800. Most likely, then they're going to be below 2K or right around there. Make Utopia Double. Do the play, Utopia Double or Nothing. Attack it. Do a bunch of damage. And if they have more monsters, then Yosenju 2 can just attack for pretty much the rest of it. And then that's it. You have it. Next up, again, because your extra deck doesn't mean a whole lot. It's mostly rank 4 toolbox. Is the Chimera Tech Force Dragon. Just in case for some reason your opponent's playing Cyber Dragons. It just easily gets around it, and if they fill the field, well then you get a free 6K body. Again, you don't make that unless you're going for game, really. Heartland Draco, 2 level 4 monsters. If you control the Fire Formation Tenki, it can attack your opponent directly. Or no, it can attack your opponent directly. Oh no, your opponent cannot target it for attacks while you have the face up spell. which is decent because then it stops them from attacking. And once per turn, you can detach material from it, and then it can attack your opponent directly. But the other monsters can attack, which sucks. I prefer actually Harpy's Phantasmal Pet Dragon, or Harpy's Pet Phantasmal Dragon, just because even though it's 3 material instead of 4, and it's 3 wind monsters, you're all wind, it's better because it's unaffected, period. This doesn't have that same benefit, and Harpy's Pet Dragon can attack directly, so your other monsters can still attack, which is really good. I think is a lot better, but you can definitely play 2, or both. Tornado Dragon, 2 level 4s, MST, pretty much it. Cowboy for game, because keep the meme alive and all. Burn for 800 for game, really. Utopia Prime, Utopia Lightning. You can basically do the same thing with Underclock Taker if you don't want to risk the Utopia double, but I think that's perfectly fine, actually, doing the Utopia double anyways, because if your attack fails, well, then you got a 5k beater on the field that has a negate attack on it, which is decent. But Lightning does stop them from activating effects in the battle phase, which is nice. But that's really it. There are some other cards you can play, like you can play Protoplant, Draco Slap, however they pronounce Dracostelia, whatever. Money Mud Dragon. You can also play this thing. Pretty much just anything for a Super Poly target, which you would side Super Poly. I don't have a side deck for this, just because it's my more casual deck. If I were to ever take it to a tournament, then I would build a side deck, but I currently don't, so I don't bother with it. But that's it. That's all there is to this. So, yeah, that's Yosenju's. That's the furry deck. It's pretty fun. I really enjoy the deck, personally. Definitely a deck I'm going to keep playing. I hope they make some more support for it. But, yeah, that's it. I ain't got nothing else to say. Again, thank you to, what was your names? I forgot. Thank you again to Team Miracle 4 for the first subscribe. Don't really know why they subscribed though, because I checked their channel and I don't see any Yu-Gi-Oh videos by them, but whatever. Thanks again, guys. This has been Yu-Gi-Oh! Okay deck profiles, because again, I don't really know what I'm talking about, but you know, give it a go. That's it. Hope you enjoyed. Hope you liked the deck. Let me know what you think. Bye.